Hello, Anytime here. Today, I will show you the recap of a superhero anime titled Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox. Spoiler alert, watch out and take care. Young Barry, called Flash, traveled with his mother, Nora. Their car breaks down on the way, and Barry sees an oncoming car. He shouts for help and runs after them, but his mother stops him. She tells him one of her legendary quotes, that you can't change what will happen, and they both run to a gas station to find help for their car. Some days later, Barry runs home and sees some thugs have broken into his apartment. He finds his mother killed, and he buries her in pain. Several years after, Barry, now Flash, goes to his mother's graveyard with his wife, Iris. He tells her he wishes he had gotten home earlier and saved his mother, but she reminds him of his mother's saying that some things in life can't be changed. He gets a notification that there are some intruders in his museum. He says that can be changed, and he will change it. So he runs to the museum. He sees Cold, Boomerang, Heatwave, Mirror Master, and Top. They all attack him, overcome him, and stick him to the wall with an adhesive. He speaks to them to ask if their acts are revenge for the fact that he kept them in jail, but they reply otherwise, telling them they are hired to make him part of their team. He laughs at them and reinstates that he knows they aren't smart enough to pull off something like that, and he can see he's correct. Zoom, Flash's worst enemy, jumps into the building. He says he was the one who hired the others, and it's because he wants them to die with him. He tells them he has attached bombs to everyone's body immediately after he entered, and he will make them explode alongside all the buildings around. He warns the others not to attempt removing the bombs, because if they do, they will explode. However, Flash uses the adhesive to stick him to the wall too, and keeps the bomb on his body. Despite this, Zoom is still unmotivated to detach the bomb. He says he can volunteer his life so Flash's long supreme reign will end. The members of the Justice League arrive, and they all try to help Flash detonate the bombs, but when they realize it's impossible, and the bomb is counting down, they take the other victims to distant places and detonate their bombs, leaving only Zoom and Flash in the room. A few seconds before the bomb detonates, Zoom extends his hands and drags the bomb off. The others are arrested while Batman takes Zoom away. Before leaving, Zoom tells Flash that there are some things he can't save no matter how fast he is, and he remembers his mother's death again. He flies away and wakes up in a new world. His colleagues at work awakens him as they are about to work on a case. They watch the news about a misfortune at the museum, and he explains to his colleague that Flash's enemies caused the mishap, but he is wrong as the information is about the end of life, caused by Wonder Woman and Aquaman. He runs out and attempts to use his powers to no avail. He falls as a response. As he falls off the stairs, he sees his mother, Nora Jones. He's shocked about this, and he tries to tell her he's the Flash, the great superpower owner. But his mother does not know Flash. Meanwhile, the Batman of that world fights with Yo-Yo. He injures her and threatens to kill her if she doesn't tell him where Joker has taken the judge he kidnapped the night before. Since Yo-Yo refuses to answer, Batman throws her off the cliff, but Cyborg saves her. Cyborg comes to Batman. He shows him several other people and begs them to save the world as it's going through several calamities. The Amazons and Wonder Woman has taken over the United Kingdom, renamed the United Kingdom New Themyscira, and Aquaman and his Atlantean Kingdom have swept Europe away, and several lives have been lost. Cyborg insists they need Batman to win the war, but Batman says the war has ended and everyone has lost. He jumps away from the building. Flash is still in shock about his new reality. He enters his workplace and sees no one recognizes him. He sees his wife Iris, and he feels better, but he sees another colleague of his going to his wife with a child and signifying that his wife is married to another man and she has a child. He decides to visit Batman. As he gets to the Batcave, he sees Batman's picture, but the person who appears to him isn't Batman. The Batman in that reality doesn't recognize him, and as he keeps mentioning the Batman he knows, Bruce Wayne's name, he finds out the Batman in that reality is Bruce Wayne's father, Thomas Wayne, and Bruce Wayne is dead. On the other hand, Steve Trevor of the United Kingdom visits the New Themyscira to find Lois Lane, a journalist. The Wonder Woman soldiers find him, and he runs into the Wonder Woman, who uses her lasso weapon to force him to confess. He tells her he's looking for Lois Lane, and after his confession, Wonder Woman kills him. At the Batcave, Batman refuses to believe Barry, and he tortures Barry by breaking his fingers. Barry begs to prove himself right, so he removes his ring to show his clothes. But rather than his clothes, Zoom's clothes fall off. He realizes what's happening and discovers Zoom has kept them in an alternate reality. Batman asks him if they could return to the actual reality, will his son be alive? And when Barry replies affirmatively, Batman promises to help him. Meanwhile, Deathstroke and Luthor are on the water, trying to get the core of Aquaman's powers. Unfortunately, Aquaman finds them and wipes them away. At the Batcave, Barry makes Batman recreate the accident that gave him strength in his world. They set the scene, but the accident fails and he burns. As a result, he gets the memory of the reality he's in and sees the day Bruce died and how Thomas's wife became Joker when her son's death grieved her. The president tells Cyborg his help is no longer needed and they must send soldiers against Aquaman. Cyborg asks for more time, but the president informs him that since the death of Deathstroke and Luthor, the country has no more time to spare and they will be sending soldiers. With Batman, Barry tells him the Aquaman he knows in his reality will never hurt anyone, and Wonder Woman wouldn't do such too. So he needs to get his powers and use the Speed Force to get back to his reality. He asks them to recreate the accident again. Wonder Woman kidnaps some of Aquaman's people and kills them. This causes hostility between the duo. On the other hand, the Amazons find Lois Lane. They're about to kill her when a speedster runs to save her. She sees the resistance, but they say there isn't a speedster among them. Eventually, Batman recreates Barry's accident successfully. Barry wears Zoom's clothes and attempts to run the Speed Force, but he cannot change the reality. He assumes that there's another speedster in that world using the Speed Force, but when Batman tells him otherwise, he assumes it's Zoom's work. He thinks of a solution and tells Batman that in his memory of their reality, he saw that a meteor fell on the same day Superman was found in his reality and assumes an alien fell with the meteor. They call for Cyborg, who affirms Barry's suspicions. He takes them to a classified office where the government keeps Superman. The trio goes there and they rescue Superman. On their way out, they tell Superman they are his friends and they wonder if they are making the right decision. Unfortunately, as they leave the classified center, they see several armies sent by the US government. The troops attack them. They all try to survive in several means. Superman recovers his powers. He uses it to destroy the armies and runs away. Captain Hal Jordan also attempts to fight the Amazon, and he also gets killed. The end of the world is drawing near. Thunder, Batman, Cyborg, and Barry sit to decide what to do, but Batman insists there's no solution, so everyone should leave and enjoy what they have left. Barry tries to convince him, but he refuses, and suddenly, he accepts to go with them. On the plane, Barry appreciates him for following them. Still, he says he isn't following because of Barry's pleas. Instead, it's because he got information from Lois Lane that the speedster at New Themyscira saved her, so they'll go to New Themyscira, find Zoom, and defeat him so they can use the Speed Force to return to the real reality. They arrive at New Themyscira, where they meet Wonder Woman and Aquaman fighting against each other. Aquaman accuses Wonder Woman of killing his wife, but Wonder Woman says it's self-defense. While they fight, the new team joins the fight. Thunder fights against Wonder Woman, while Batman, Barry, and Cyborg battle against Aquaman. Aquaman pushes Batman out of the fight zone, while Cyborg continues the fight. Batman gets injured, and Barry tries to help him, but Batman refuses. He says he needs Barry to find Zoom, but Zoom shows himself. A fight starts between Zoom and Barry. Zoom defeats him and tells him that he isn't the villain, as it wasn't Zoom who created an alternate reality. Instead, it's Barry. He made it in pain when Zoom taunted him about his mother's death, but Zoom says he loves that reality and he won't allow Barry to change it, so they can both die when the world is destroyed. On the battlefield, Wonder Woman defeats Thunder, while Aquaman destroys Cyborg. Before Cyborg dies, Superman returns and cuts off Aquaman's hand. Aquaman walks towards Wonder Woman, who kills him. As Zoom and Barry argue, Batman arrives and shoots Zoom. This allows Barry to use all the Speed Force. He stops his aggrieved self from creating an alternate reality, and he wakes up in the office and realizes the world is back to normal. He leaves the office to his mother's grave, where he meets his wife and hugs her. He visits Bruce, the Batman in his reality, and tells Bruce all that had happened to him. He also gives Bruce a letter from his father, Thomas, and Bruce appreciates him. Thanks for watching the recap. Kindly subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post the next recap. See you next time.